you're live in Limbo.
This is Andreas Babiolakis with liveinlimbo.com. I'm here at NXNE on the first day of the music festival, and with me I have up-and-coming talent Foxtrott. You just performed.
I just performed.
How does it feel?
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun?
Yeah.
And this is
it's a
like...
nice stage, nice setup, fun people. It's all good.
Sounded great to me, actually. Really good production values there. And this is your first festival, or have you done another?
North by Northeast?
Yeah.
It's my second.
It's your
I was
second?
there last year.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I played at like 2:30 a.m. at a Pop Montreal showcase at Silver Dollar Room last year. It was pretty funny. It was fun though.
Which is better comparison? Right now at the Mock Club?
Well, it was very different. Like tonight I got some like a focused audience, but a bit like serious.
Yeah.
And last year was like I got all the drunk people, so many like wasted people. That was another type of fun.
That must have been a lot of fun then, right?
Yeah, different.
You want to see other bands performing at the festival?
Yeah, well, I will go see shows later. That's why I'm excited to change in.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go see Jacques Green and Tommy Cruise play.
Where's that?
The Hoxton, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow I'm gonna go down and see Pusha T on the island.
I'm catching Danny Brown, so I can't see Pusha T. But...
Him too, I would like to. But honestly, it's gonna be really boring for the interview. I didn't have time to check the schedule because I knew I was just in for a night. So.
No worries, we can cut this stuff out. Don't worry.
So I can't.
Cut. So you have a style which is having a big comeback now, like this kind of retro sound from like the 80s and everything. Do you have former and current influences that have shaped your style?
I have many influences, but I would say that I have no influences from the 80s. Really.
Not from the 80s?
I don't associate my stuff with 80s music at all.
At all?
No.
What about current?
What do you mean by 80s?
I just like with the tempo and everything, it sounded a lot like the early 80s with like when the clicker started to be added to music. Like I got that vibe from your music, but you say that you're solely contemporary?
No, but I mean I have, in terms of certain sounds and tones, I think I have more inspiration from like the late 70s and stuff like that, or because when we hear 80s we think like kind of like cold reverby music, which is really not what I mean and stuff. So well, I don't know how it sounded in the room tonight, but it's really not like that on record. So
it's really upbeat sounding. It's just like with the, but I'm guessing late 70s is more.
Yeah, and I have a lot of influences from like, I mean, it's crazy, like from like, sorry, from like reggae music to like hip hop music to like jungle, drum and bass to like, but it's songs. It's really songwriting too. So it's like I take all my production influences, but I shape it into songs, like pop songs. That's a bit the challenge that I gave myself for that project.
For sure. So you're trying to take all of these styles and try and shape it into something that is understandably pop.
I'm just trying to make something that I feel like it has a fresh sound that I didn't hear very much. You know, like in terms of production and sound, it's just like something that sounds as unique as possible and as like, whoa, I would have never imagined that type of rhythmic stuff with that type of tones and that melody, and it just creates that like fresh sounding thing. It's not easy to achieve, but I think anyways, that's the challenge I give.
How do you discover these sounds, and how do you know that they are ones that actually fit? Have you discovered new things that you've never seen before that haven't worked?
It's a lot. In the process of finding my sound that I created with Foxtrott for the record I'm going to release now, it's like there was a lot of really good things and a lot of like things that I was like, oh, it sounds cool, but more for like exploration, or if I would put out an experimental record or whatever. But I mean, when you make like pop songs, you want it to feel good. You don't want it to be like just like a nerd thing, or like a thing that you know that your 50 electronic musician friends will be, oh, that's really cool. But like that's not what I'm looking for with that project. I want to like touch people. It's more like emotional. I work on a lot of instrumental stuff these days that is a bit different than what I would sing on, and I want to keep it like for like certain EPs that I want to release or collaborations with other people. But there's stuff that I make that I really like, but I don't see it as a song. I don't want to make it a song.
Would you release these under something that wasn't Foxtrott, like a completely different?
I think I will probably keep. I will probably keep the same name, but kind of like make it a wider thing.
Right, so it's not like a singular kind of idea that you have for Foxtrott. You might delve into it.
No, it's really like my own creative output, and whatever it will become. I would be comfortable with putting out like proper like records that it's like song based, and putting like more crazy stuff on the side under the same name. I think the world is totally ready for that type of stuff. It's not like before that people are not like,
right.
But
exactly.
You don't sing on it, like stuff like that. I think
this is interesting because one of the questions I had actually is that you get a lot of viewership or listenership rather from Bandcamp, for instance. With social media, how different is the music scene now, and how helpful is it for artists trying to release any sort of output where it's not just radio material now?
I think it's easier and tougher all at once. You know, it's like it's easier to have your initial like creative output and put it out there, and then have feedback, and then find people that like your music. But to really go to the next step, it's not like, I think it's a false idea to think that you just like put stuff online and everything's gonna like, you know, it's hard work for everyone, like it always was, you know, and I think to find the right people to help you evolve to the next step after just like, I don't know, it really depends what you do. It's because of like I do, you know, I sing and it's more songs and stuff like that. But I mean, if I were only making beats, I think I would probably follow the lane of a lot of producers right now that just like put tracks on SoundCloud every 2 days or something. It's fun. I mean, what I don't like about that, I really like that when people edit themselves. And I think the world we live in right now, there's a lot of crap. It's like, it's not because I have a thought that I have to share it. It's like Twitter and all this stuff. Like, why do you share this with me? I don't want to know. But that's my personal. And like, why do you share this beat that you made in 5 minutes that's not even that good? Just because you feel like you have a creative outlet. Like, just keep it in a folder and then just take the best and present it with a nice like artwork so that people can really grab. Like, I have mixed feelings about that, like giant river of sound and words and stuff. It's just like, I think the whole music world would benefit a bit more like, you know, like make stuff, let it sit for 3 months and like listen to it again and just like present your best work.
No, I've got
my 2 cents.
Off camera, you mentioned that you actually worked with film before, like on film sets. What was that experience like?
I'm still I record sound for film and TV and stuff, and I did a lot of sound post-production, like way before I started being more serious about like my own music, and I think that's where my qualities of like producing and engineering and kind of like mixing and like playing with sounds come from. It's like the sensitivity, and I still make a lot of production with some samples that I recorded on stuff or like on films. Like the other day, I was working on a film. Actually, a friend of mine was working on a film where there was a scene where there was a fight and the person got slapped in the face and stuff. And it was like the perfect clap. So I just took it and I used it for myself. Like I do a lot of stuff like that.
That's perfect. So you have a little bit of influence from sampling, and you take that from the older ones then, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you again for this opportunity. It's very nice to meet you, and again, congratulations on performing at your second time in NXNE.
Thank you.